All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Launch Accelerator CAVU coaching training. This is week number 2 of our Content is King training. And I want you to think this morning, we're going to be talking about content. And for years and years, I was a pastor. And as a pastor, I would walk across the stage. I'd open up my Bible. I would exegete the scripture. There would be hundreds, if not thousands of people in the audience that were all taking notes. And they took everything that I said as gospel, and they went home and applied it. Now, let me ask you, was I the utmost expert when it came to exegeting the scriptures? And the answer is no. Did I know the Bible more than anybody else in the room? And the answer is no. There are plenty of college professors who knew way more than I did. There are plenty of people who had been following the scriptures for decades more than I have, that studied every day, that knew more than I did. But what did I have that they did not have? Okay, I had something. And what I had was plain and simple. I had a platform. I had a platform. And that platform had a podium on it. And because I had a platform and a podium, then, and the others did not, they elevated me to a position of authority. Why? Because the platform gave me the credibility, and the credibility and the authority caused me to get paid. Okay. And those things combined. So as we talk about content, and content is king, I want to show you on the whiteboard here that these are the 3 ingredients that you have to have in order to be elevated to the point where you can get paid handsomely. So I'm going to bring the whiteboard over. Here we go. Okay, and so for those of you who are on Facebook, it looks like that Facebook is glitching out. Somebody's telling me that I forgot about them. I don't know who I forgot. Oh, well, we'll get to that later. Okay, so anyway. The problem with my my thing is there's a big, gigantic white spot right on the. I can't get rid of it, so we'll just work on this. Okay, so 3 components. Okay, credibility plus authority. Okay, these 2 things are incredibly powerful in order to get you elevated to the point where people pay you a lot of money. However, credibility and authority alone don't cut it. What you have to have is you have to have a platform. Okay, you have to have a platform. Credibility plus authority plus a platform equals expert. And you get paid handsomely, okay, if you have those things. Okay, so you have to have credibility plus authority plus platform, then you'll be considered an expert and you'll be paid handsomely. And so typically the only thing that separates those people who are really struggling to make sales and those who don't is one of these things: credibility, authority, platform. Okay, are you really viewed as an expert in your field? Okay, I mean, I really want you to think about that. Are you really viewed as an expert in your field? So when I first started coaching, okay, I didn't really know what the heck I was doing, to be honest with you. I studied like crazy. I read every book like crazy. I signed up for every program like crazy. I would digest. I'd buy somebody's online course designed to take 12 weeks to go through, and I would go through it all in a day. I just studied. So with this, you have to understand that there is some education that has to be involved, right? So you got to know what the hell you're doing. Okay, you have to. If you don't know what you're doing, let's say you're trying to make money, I don't know, let's say you're trying to make money building funnels, and you don't even know what a funnel is, well, obviously, you're not going to have any of these things, right? So you have to actually be educated. So what I want to do is I want to show you this morning, if we know that we have to have credibility, we have to have authority, we have to build a platform in order to be considered an expert so you can get paid handsomely. What I want to do is I want to go through the E's that you have to have. So first thing that you have to have is you have to have an education. You have to have something that informs your being. Okay. So in other words, you have to be a consistent learner. You have to always be learning about your trade. You'll always have to keep your saw sharp. Okay. You always have to. Okay. You have to have an education. This could be formal training. This could be informal training. This could be online courses. This could be reading, whatever it is. You have to be able to, you have to be able to have education. Second thing you have to have is you have to have experience. Okay. So in other words, if you got to know, not only do you know because you studied, but you know because you've implemented what it is that you're talking about, right? So we run a thing called Small Event, Big Profit. And the reason why I can charge $5,000 for somebody to come to an event is because I have experience making six figures at events. So when I say that, hey, we can help you, we can help you create an event between 12 and 24 people and profit six figures in a weekend, I can do that because I've done that. And because I have the experience, my confidence increases. So some of you, where you are in your business right now, you have the education because you've studied it. You have an idea of what you want to do, but you've never done it, and you're upset because people aren't paying. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to encourage you. Don't freak out. Just simply go get experience. This is why I tell you your first 3 clients probably should be free. Okay, you should be free, and well, not free with a string attached is what we call it. We should be free with so you can garner the experience. So if you have the experience and you have the education, then the next thing that you need is you need an endorsement. Okay, endorsement. Do the experts say you're an expert? And this is incredibly important because when you're building a platform, okay, and you're building your platform based off experience, education, endorsement. Okay, you can have done things which has now informed your way of being. You can have studied things which has informed your way of being, but nothing is going to get you further faster than when an expert says you're an expert. Okay, so let me give you a case in point. So I was building funnels for about $1,000 to $1,500. Okay, $1,000 to $1,500. Then Russell Brunson does this worldwide contest looking for the top 30 funnel designers in the world. I submit mine. I get selected. And not only do I get selected as a top 30, but he actually elevated me to top 6, shows one of my designs as top 6 designs in all the design-a-thon, making me a top 6 funnel designer. Who said that? Russell Brunson said that. Because of his endorsement that I was a top 6 funnel designer, I went from charging $1,000 to $1,500 a funnel to charging $12,000 to $15,000 a funnel. Literally 10x my prices, all because of an endorsement. So endorsements are not social proof. Endorsements are other experts who are respected in the field that qualify you as being a person who should be respected in the field. Okay. And when you get this endorsement, you have 3 major components that you have to have in order to have credibility, authority, in order to build your platform. Okay. So if you're trying to become an expert, you have to have experience, you have to have education, and you have to have endorsement. That's like the bottom line. If you don't have those 3 things, then you're really going to struggle in this industry. Some of you guys know what the heck you're talking about. Okay. Like for instance, so Mary G is on here, and Mary is an incredible strategist. Incredible strategist. Mary, has anybody paid you $25,000 for your strategy yet?
No.
I can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Hold on.
You got to put the blue headphones on. Are you there? She'll figure it out. So Mary
sorry, I'm late.
Great strategy.
Can you hear me? Why? How come?
Hold on. Let me find you.
I think you muted me.
Oh, Justin says I can hear. Maybe. Okay, now talk.
Yeah. No, nobody has paid me that much yet for my services.
Maybe it's something with me. Hold on. Maybe it's I can't hear. Okay, Mary G, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying nobody has paid me that much for my services.
Yeah, nobody's paid you that, right? So, but you're good, right? You're good.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're not at the point where you're getting paid handsomely is because of this formula up here. Okay. So you're starting to get experience, right? You've done a couple, you're starting to get experience. You're beginning to study this, right? You're beginning to study it so you know your thing. But this right here is what you're missing, right? You're missing an endorsement from an expert that says you're an expert. Once I got my endorsement from an expert, then everything went up, right? So people started believing me when I told them I was good. Okay. Why? Because I have this endorsement. So one thing you guys have to work hard with is you have to find out who is respected in your field. Now, a great way to get endorsement is to have a podcast, invite these people to be on the podcast. Ask them great questions, dialogue with them. A great way to get an endorsement is to go and join a summit. People are always doing these virtual summits. Go speak on their summits. Okay, get interviewed on podcasts. We'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, but find a way for people in your industry that are really good. Find a way for them to get to know you and then get an endorsement from them, okay? Get them to say that you're good at what you do. And then if you have these three things, these are the foundational pieces to you building in a platform, which is you ultimately going on to become an expert, getting paid handsomely. So you have to have experience, you have to have education, you have to have an endorsement. Fourth thing that you have to have is you have to have social proof. Okay. Now this is your clients. Do your clients say that you're good? If your clients are telling you that you're good, then other people will believe it. So testimonials are massive. Now with testimonials, and we're going to get all into this in Orlando, but with testimonials, there's really three types of testimonials that you have to have. Number one, you have to have a written testimonial. Okay. Somebody who writes down, Mary G is the greatest thing since sliced bread. You have to have a video testimonial. Hi, everybody, this is Chad, and I want to tell you that Mary G is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But the most important piece of social proof are screenshots. You need Instagram shots, Facebook shots, Twitter shots, those types of things. People calling you out and shouting you out in rooms and in forums and in text messages saying that you are really good. Now, why is that important? The reason is because we have a tendency sometimes to think that written testimonies are fake. You can go on to Fiverr. Watch, I want to show you this. I don't know if have you guys ever done this? Let me show you. This is really ridiculous. Just a second. I almost hired a guy once, and he sent me a video testimonial. And the problem was that the video testimonial was great. It was this beautiful lady, like, oh my gosh, whatever his name was, Jared is like the greatest thing since sliced bread, blah, 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 blah. And I almost believed him, but at the very end of the video, watch this. At the very end of the video, a little Fiverr watermark came up. I was like, what? So I came in here and started looking at Fiverr, and here's what I found. You can go video, watch this. Okay. Look at this guy right here. Hold on, I'm going to stop. Oh, you can't. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see if we can pull this guy up. Okay. So let's try this. Okay, you ready?
Hello, my name is Winston, and I have been using the product for about 3 months now, and it has been an amazing experience. I really recommend the product to anyone who would like to try it or is questioning whether to buy it or not. You should. Thank you.
So they've got these things, like these video testimonials in there. Let's find a better one. Here we go. Let's find one. Here we go. Let's look at this one.
SAP SuccessFactors helps me tremendously to be in direct dialogue with my people.
Policy.
It's a very user-friendly system.
Associate Director Global. This is all fake.
I love the fact that Teva is making a difference in people's lives, giving them affordable medicine. I'm excited about not only what we do today, but what we want to achieve and do in the.
So that's all fake. Like you can literally go and get social proof. So people aren't believing video testimonials anymore. What are you guys saying here? Oh yeah, just they're not believing written testimonies, video testimonies. But for whatever reason, we just assume that snapshots, screenshots are real. So this is why those are so important. So experience, education, endorsement, social proof. But here's the one that you have to have. More than all of these is internet validation. Okay, when somebody Googles you, and they will, you have to be validated. Okay, you have to be validated. When you have these 5 things, this all happens. Your credibility increases, your authority increases, your platform begins to get built. Then you become an expert and you can get paid handsomely. Okay, should be equal. So what I want to do is last week we started talking about this piece right here, this internet validation. What we said last week, if you remember, is you have to write a 2,500 word article. You guys remember that? You have to write a 2,500 word article, and you have to give it a title. You have to make a case. You have to delineate your points. You have to have a conclusion. Okay, it's where we went last week. Is this what you have to do? So what I want to show you is now that you have your 2,500 word article, how can you use this in order to become internet valid? So okay, so we're gonna do that real quick. Okay, so if you have your article, okay, the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna create a giveaway. Okay, now what is a giveaway? So let's say that your article is on, 7 ways to get paid in digital marketing. Okay, so let's say this is your article. Okay, sorry, you can't see the 7. So let's say it's 7 ways to get paid in digital marketing. Okay, and so in your article, you wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ways, and you wrote a ton of information in between there. Okay, and it was a great article. So let's say that step number 1 was, step number 1 was, create a social media agency. Okay, and let's say number 2, I'm not going to go through some of these. Let's say number 2 is become a copywriter, or I guess it would be. And let's say number 3 was whatever. Create a social media agency, build funnels, whatever. Okay. And you wrote tons of stuff in between every one of those, right? To make your 2,500 words. Well, to do a giveaway, all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a cheat sheet or a checklist off of this article. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to just doctor the title. So instead of 7 ways to get paid in digital marketing, if that's the name of my article, then what I'm going to put is how to start your own digital marketing business, right? Okay. So the 7 steps to starting your own digital marketing business. So I'm just going to doctor the title. It's the same title. I'm just going to doctor it so it's not identical. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to come take my 7 points. So create a social media agency. Okay. And so I'm going to just put a checkbox over here. And instead of create a social media agency, if that's the headline for my article, I'm just going to put social media agency. And then I'm going to write 1 or 2 sentences underneath it. Okay, and I'm going to fit all 7 of them on 1 or 2 sheets, and I'm going to call this a checklist. Okay, now 100% of the information is what came from the article, but I doctored it so it sounds different, even though it's the same content. Okay, and then what I can do then is I can use that as a giveaway, and it whets people's appetite and gives me an asset. Okay, so remember that I was talking earlier that you have to have, you have to have experience. You have to have an education, you have to have endorsement, you have to have social proof, you have to have internet validation. Remember that? Okay, which is now the 6th one is you have to have assets. Okay. These assets are incredibly important because if you don't have assets for your business, then you're really not an expert. So what you're going to be doing with this article is you're going to begin building assets for your business. Okay. And that's incredibly important. Are these assets. So I don't know what's happening with, one moment. Let me fix these. I thought I used to have it where all this stuff got muted when people came on, but apparently not. Okay. So as we build this out, we're going to take that 2,500 word article and then we're going to create a giveaway. Okay. Because that's incredibly important. So now I have an asset, a little asset. Second thing is you are then going to send it to like Funnel Mag, Entrepreneur, Hustle, not Hustler, Hustle, whatever. There's a ton of them. You're going to just send that out. Okay. And then you're going to guest blog. Okay. So take that 2,500 word article that you have, and then you're going to send it. You're going to submit it to all of these magazines. Why? Because they're all looking for content. They're all looking for great information to put inside their magazine, either in the print version or the blog version. And if you send it to them, you have about an 8 out of 10 chance, if it's good, of it getting published. Now, why is that important? Well, we'll show you in a minute. Okay. And then you're going to guest blog. The reason why you're going to guest blog is because, the reason why you're going to guest blog is because there are people who already have your audience. They already have the audience that you want, that you're trying to tap into. So what you're going to do, I don't know what's happening with my microphone here. So what you're going to do is, can you guys hear me? You guys hear me? Okay. So what you're going to do here is you're going to take this article, and I'm not exaggerating. You're going to send this to like 50 people. I don't know what's up. My microphone keeps telling me that I'm cutting in and out. So I apologize if I am. Okay. It's going to send it to like 50 people. Okay. Because they have audiences that you want. Okay. And that's incredibly important. And I'll show you in a minute how to siphon that information and get it into your database. But this is what you're going to do. So you're going to write that article that we talked about last week, and then you're going to create a giveaway. You're going to send it to Funnel Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine, Hustle, all the magazines, okay? And you can just go into the ClickFunnels room or whatever and say, hey, guys, I've got a great article. I'm trying to submit it to magazines. You have a list of magazines. You have a list of content. And typically all you have to do is send it to the content producer of that magazine. And if the headline is, and all they read is just your little blurb, okay? They just read the headline and the first little blurb, and if it catches their attention, they publish it. If it doesn't, they ditch it, okay? But you have about an 8 out of 10 chance of getting published, okay? Now remember, we said that if you do that, that you have to have endorsements. See this endorsement one right here? These endorsements. So now you may not have people endorsements, but now you have a Funnel Magazine logo you can use. You have a Forbes magazine logo you can use. You have an entertainment magazine that you can use, whatever, okay? Or let's say that you get interviewed on like, Funnel Hacking Radio, or you get interviewed on My Radio, whatever. You can take their logos now, you can put them on your website or on your homepage, and now that acts as an endorsement. So this is why this is important. So number one is you want to do a giveaway. Number two, you want to submit to all the publications, okay? Because if you're a published author, it's a pretty big deal, okay? You don't have to write a book. You can just have a freaking magazine article. Number three. Excuse me. Okay, and these are no particular order. I just think this is how you should, these are just some things that you should do. Okay, using the same thing. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna go Facebook Live. Okay, you're going to take your article. You're going to take your 2,500 word article. Okay, and you are going to go Facebook Live with this. Now, I want to see if I can show you mine. I tried to show you last week, but I wasn't in my studio. So I think I can, now that I'm in here, I think I can pull this up for you and show you mine. Let me remember what was mine called? Let me think about it. What was it called? What's the name of my article? You guys saw it last week. What was the name of it? I forgot. Oh my gosh, I'm having an old man moment right now. Come on, Mary G, do not laugh at me. I see you laughing at me. Stop. Oh shoot, I'll think of it in a minute. I just lost the title. Okay. But anyway, so what I do is I took this article and then I go Facebook Live. And I literally just teach the article in its entirety, okay? Because this 2,500-word article is so powerful, it's so good, that it also translates into a Facebook Live. Now, what I'm going to do is, when I do this Facebook Live, I hit the Facebook Live button, and then I just go. I just start teaching. I just start teaching my little brains out. I ignore my audience, and I just teach. I don't say, hey, is this thing on? Can you guys hear me? No. I don't do any of that. I'm just like, yo. How you doing, everybody? Chad Thibodeau, and today I'm going to talk to you. Oh, I know what about. I'm going to talk to you about my 7-step pointer system on how to launch your business in just 7 days. Hey, grab a pencil and piece of paper, and let's get going. And I'll just literally just teach that article in its entirety. So pointer, that's right. That's what it was. Let's see if I can pull that up. Pointer, Funnel Magazine. There we go. Okay, so you guys want to see mine? Okay, so this is what mine looks like. Okay, so what I did was I wrote an article called The 7-Step System to Launching Your Business Service Product Way Before You're Ready and How to Get Paid For It. Okay, by Chad Thibodeau. Okay, and then I just came here, and remember the beginning of the article is all about making a case. So I made a case for why people don't have to be perfect, on why they don't have to be perfect in order to launch a product, okay? And then what I did here is then I went into my system. And remember delineation? Okay, so here's my headline. So I got a headline and I write about it. And notice I bullet point everything. And the reason is because if people don't want to read the whole thing, they can just read the headlines and get the gist of it, okay? Which is really good, okay? And so this is about 2,500 words that I wrote. And this was actually printed. Oh, there's a typo there. This is actually printed in Funnel Magazine, okay? So I am a published author. I've been published many times, okay? But I wrote this, okay? And so this is what a 2,500-word article looks like. Now, the nice thing is this is my entire system. The pointer system is if you were to have no business and you wanted a business, you just need to follow my 7-step pointer system and you would have it, right? So what I did with this was I took this article and I sent it to Funnel Magazine, all these, and I've been published in multiple articles. Okay, it's on several people's guest blog. And then what I did was I went to Facebook Live and I taught it. Now, I ignored my audience. And at the end of it, then here's exactly how I did it. I'll give you an example. I put, all right, everybody, how are you? Chad Thibodeau here. Today, I want to teach you about the 7-step system to launching your business, service, or product way before you're ready and how to get paid for it. You know, as a business coach, I get asked this question often, okay? And what's interesting is, I'm not ever really prepared for it. The question I get asked is, can you help me launch my business? Now, this question comes from a recognizable entrepreneur that if I was to give you his name, okay, you would say, wow, I know that guy. Okay, this question came to me from a newly divorced middle-aged lady who sent me a Facebook direct message. There was a Hall of Fame DJ that I was working with, and he asked me this question after an interview. And a rookie, or as my little son calls him, a noob, okay, a rookie in the marketplace asked me this question as well. Can you help me launch my business? This question gets asked to me every day. In fact, I'm not alone. Many successful business coaches are telling me every day that they get asked this question several times every week as well. And you say, well, Chad, what's the big deal about that question? Can you help me launch my business? Well, the thing is I always say yes. But I'm typically surprised if they want to hire me when there literally are hundreds of online courses detailing the launch process. I mean, can't they just pay a few $100, download some videos, complete a checklist, and then be on their way to making hundreds of thousands of dollars with their ideas? You see, I think that this is where the problem lives. You know, because either in an attempt to impress or give their unique twist on launching, what happens is many authors or coaches literally paralyze us with overwhelm. They bombard us with information. And instead of freeing us with clarity, they overwhelm us and paralyze us. Now, little conspiracy theory alert here, okay? Some people, I'm not saying me, but some people may just maybe think that these authors and coaches are literally intentionally being vague, you know, because what? You know, create the need to purchase additional products, hire them as a coach, you know, to fill in the missing links. Nah, I'm sure that would never happen. But let's start with the obvious. Okay, so you see, I'm not going to keep teaching this, but you get an idea that once I write this out, I literally come to Facebook Live and I teach it, and I just scroll through it and I teach it just like this is a transcript. Okay, and I teach the whole thing. Now, why am I going to do that? The reason why I'm going to do that is because after this, I'm going to download it, And now what do I have? What do I have when I download this? Okay, what do I have when I download this? Okay, what I have is I have a masterclass. Remember, I'm building assets. Okay, Roxanne wants to know, is this live on your profile or page? Somewhere it is, Roxanne, but I do hundreds of these, so I can't necessarily point it to you. But I will find it. In fact, Kamaya, if you're watching this, if you can have Anshul pull it up and then put this in the file section, that would be great. Oh, you mean what you were explaining? Is this live on your profile or page? Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, Roxanne, what I teach is to do everything until your business page gets so massive that it makes sense for you to be on your business page. I tell people to do it on their personal profile, okay? Just because it gets more views, in my opinion. So that's what I do. Okay? So you're going to teach a Facebook Live and you're going to download it. Now, remember in your article how we talked to you about creating steps and points. By the way, if you missed last week's training, you need to go back and watch it. It's really good. Okay. Remember how we talked about like you create steps and points and you delineate everything. Okay. Well, so what I'm going to do in mine, I have 7 steps, POINTER. That's my 7-step system. So I'm going to go teach the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to go teach the whole thing on Facebook Live, download it, put a couple tools and resources with it. Now I have a masterclass that I can give away or sell. But then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to teach. I'm going to teach each point. Sorry, you can't see that. I'm going to teach each point exhaustively. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is the next day or whenever I want to, I'm going to go onto Facebook and I'm going to teach P. Okay. So if you remember in my article, P is product, process, prototype. So I'm going to go on and I'm going to teach them this whole process, right? So I'm going to teach about naming your product or service, writing brief summary, crafting expected outcome. You say, well, wait a second, Chad, didn't you just teach that already? Yeah, but I only have 2,500 words in the entire article. And there's a lot more that I know about this P point than just what's written on the page. So I'm going to go on the next day and I'm going to teach 10, 15, maybe 20, 25 minutes just on P. And then the next day, I'm going to go and I'm going to teach just O. And then the next day, I'm going to come and I'm going to teach just I. And the next day, I'm going to go and teach N. And the next day, I'm going to go teach T. Then the next day, I'm going to go teach E. And then the next day, I'm going to go and I'm going to teach R. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach them in their entirety, just like I did my first Facebook Live. Now what do I have? Because remember, I'm building assets. Okay, I'm building assets. Now what I have here is I have an entire online course, or I have a video series, whatever one that I want, okay? And I did that all from my 2,500 word article, okay? So I didn't have to go recreate content, okay? But if I'm going to be an expert in my field and I'm going to know what the heck I'm talking about, then I better be able to speak 20, 25, 30 minutes on one of my points. If I can't, then I need to go back to the table, as we talked at the beginning of our conversation. I need to go back to the table and make sure that I have the experience and the education enough in order to teach this. Now, what I've learned is, and it blows my mind, the people who have watched this. So I was talking one day with a guy by the name of Bart Miller. I don't know if you guys know Bart or not, okay? Bart is in Russell Brunson's inner circle. Bart is also the guy who dresses everybody at Funnel Hacking Live. He's like a fashionista, really cool dude, and awesome. And I met Bart at an event about a year ago and was really surprised to know that Bart knew who I was. Because, you know, in my eyes, he's up there. I mean, he's one of Russell Brunson's best friends. And he knew exactly who I was, what I did, and I was really surprised by that. So about I don't know, this is probably in April, because 2 months ago, Bart sends me a text message via Facebook and says, dude, you're blowing up. I said, thank you. He goes, I went to breakfast this morning with Russell Brunson, and you're all we could talk about. I said, what? He goes, yeah, dude. He goes, we went to breakfast this morning, and he goes, we were there for an hour, and you were like the conversation for like 50 minutes. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, me? Like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, man, he's blown away with your 7-day launch challenge. I said, how does he even know about my 7-day launch challenge? He goes, because he's in it. He's taking it. I was like, what? Like Russell frickin' Brunson is in my 7-day launch challenge? He goes, yeah, man. He's like, he's blown away. He goes, you got to teach me everything you know. He goes, Russell Brunson's blown away by your 7-day launch challenge. I didn't even know Russell Brunson knew who I was. I mean, he knows who I am, but didn't know he knew I had it. And so, but he found out about it because of this content strategy. You never know who watches these things, right? I'm trying to get that glare out of your, if you're wondering what I'm doing moving around, I'm trying to get this light out of the way here. My video guy's not here, and this is all messy. Okay. And so what this does is when you have content like this, it's really good and you can be exhaustive on it. The experts take notice. You don't have to have a massive platform. You just have to be really good. So by creating a video series, what this does is it makes you go deep on your process and on your pathway. So deep that you know this stuff inside and out. So I'm going to show you the gut thing. Okay, so see my belly right here? This right here is the money maker. Okay, see this gut right here? That's the money maker. You're like, what the heck are you talking about, Chad? You are so weird. Maybe, but it's the money maker. What I mean by the money maker? When I teach, okay, when I teach, like let's say somebody invites me to be on a podcast or on a summit or whatever, and I don't do many of these anymore. I get a ton of invitations, but I typically will do them for you guys because I love you guys, but I don't do them for a lot of people outside my circle anymore just because I don't have time. But people, when I do, people typically are always blown away by the teaching. Not because I'm a great teacher, but because I never have notes. And I could just teach for hours. Like I don't have notes right now. I can just teach. And the reason is because I've studied this stuff so much that the content has moved from my head to my heart to my gut. It's literally just down there. So when somebody asks me a question, I can just regurgitate great information. Why? Because it's in there. It's down there. It's grounded. It's who I am. It's what I become. It's why I study so hard. It's why I teach so hard, because it's in there. And when you're beginning to become an expert in your field to the point where you can demand high dollars, you have got to know your stuff so freaking well that it moves from your head to your heart to your gut. And when it's in your gut, it just comes out. And when it just comes out, people are like, wow, dude, that is really good. I remember, Elias, I think you were there. I don't remember who else was there. There was a bunch of people there. We were Funnel Hacking Live. And somehow I went down. Oh, that was a weird story. Don't get me started on that. But I actually went down to the bar to meet a girl, and the girl stood me up, which is really funny. So I'm sitting there in the bar, and all of a sudden we start having some conversation. And next thing I know, people are asking me questions, and it just came up out of my gut, and I just started teaching and just started spewing information and knowledge. Next thing you know, we had a crowd of people. Elias, I think you were there. I think Mark was there. We had a crowd of people around us, and I just sort of held court and just started teaching. And that, I think, was impressive to a few people because many of those people are in my $25,000 high-ticket coaching program right now. Because when you can just teach and the information just boils up and out, there's something about there's something about the confidence level of those people that you're teaching that skyrockets so much because they just believe that you know what the hell you're talking about. And you get that by doing stuff like this, by taking your 2,500 word article and exhausting every point. So you know you've done the research, and you know you've done the study, and you know you can just speak it into existence. Okay? And this is one of the big things. So like I was talking with one of you guys just the other day on our coaching call. And I think it was Mark Stern. And I was like, Mark, you are so good. You are so gifted. It's so good. The information is just down here. You just need to give yourself permission just to speak. And so when you go on Facebook Lives and you teach, you need to just open up and speak. Don't be so calculated. Don't be so by the book, by the notes. Literally just be free, because the freedom and flexibility of your speech is what builds the confidence in so many people, okay? It just builds confidence in people. And you get that confidence, guys, by doing this kind of stuff. When you go Facebook Live and you have a masterclass, which is great, but this video series, when you can exhaust every point to the nth degree, people are like, okay, this guy or this girl, they know what the heck they're talking about. Have you ever, somebody help me. I literally just lost my marker. I don't know where my marker went. What did I do with my marker, guys? We'll use blue. Okay. Okay. So are you with me? So this is why you do that. Number 5. Can you guys see that? Okay. Number 5. So number 1, you're going to create a giveaway, a checklist, a cheat sheet, something from the article. Number 2, send your article. You're going to publish it to all these places. Number 3, you're gonna do a Facebook Live, download it, put a few resources with it. Now you have a masterclass. Number 4, you're gonna teach each point exhaustively, and then you're gonna turn that into an online course or video series, and then which is superbly important. Okay. Number 5. Okay, you're going to dissect. Okay, for Facebook Live series. Now, I'm not talking about these Facebook Lives or this Facebook Live. What I'm talking about is, because these are formal. This is really informal. So, hey, everybody, how are we doing? Chad Thibodeau here with you. And today what I would do is I want to talk with you about, okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one snippet of my training. So, for instance, let me go back to my article here, right? So like if I'm trying to do a Facebook Live, because I'm trying to build authority, okay? So I may take this point right here, give your best stuff away for free, okay? So this is under reciprocity. I'm not going to teach all the reciprocity. I'm just going to teach this one little snippet. Give your best stuff away for free. So I would come on here and say, hey, everybody, how are you? Chad Thibodeau today. And hey, what I want to do today is we're talking to you about how to build your expertise. And I want to talk with you about the premise or the idea of giving all your best stuff away for free. And I'm going to casually get into my conversation. So I may ask a question. That's a great way to ask questions. How many of you guys have ever struggled, and you guys can let me know in the chat room here, how many of you guys have ever struggled with your content? How do I know if I'm giving too much information, where now I'm creating the problem that because I gave them all my best stuff away, because I gave them so much good stuff, now they don't need to buy from me? How many of you guys have ever struggled with that or ever had that idea? So let me know in the chat room, guys. Let me know. Have you guys ever had that idea? Have you guys ever wondered if, like, Roxanne says, yeah. Have you ever wondered if, like, that's just too much? Well, here's what I want to do today. What I want to do today is I want to tell you the answer to that, okay? Or Tina says, or because you're selling that information. I want to tell you the answer to that. And today what I want to do is I want to tell you that you need to give your best stuff away for free. And when you, unless you 100% are convinced that you haven't given too much away, then you haven't given too much away. So you need to err on the side of generosity, err on the side, whatever, okay? So I'll teach a little snippet, and I'll break that down for just a Facebook Live, just an everyday ho-hum Facebook Live, and then I'll take another concept, okay? So like, let's say in a few days, I'm going to talk about giving without any strings attached, or I may talk about over-delivering or whatever, okay? So if you see like my article, I have pretty much almost an entire year's worth of content in here that I could just pull out, and teach. Like, for instance, I could do a whole Facebook Live on just launching my business. Like, do you really need a coach? Like, why can't you just go get a thing, right? So I could do a whole Facebook Live on that. I could do a whole Facebook Live on the difference between a product and a prototype. I could do a whole Facebook Live on why you need a product. Like there's literally an entire year's worth of content. And so what I want to do is I want to dissect my article to find information that I can use for my Facebook Lives, my teaching Facebook Lives. Okay. Steve says, how often do you think we should go live? Steve, I would tell you, until you are viewed as the utmost authority in live events, you should be going live 2 times every single day, every day, until Steve Warner is viewed as the expert in events. Once Steve is viewed as the expert in events, then you 3-4 times a week. But until you get there, you've got to teach. And I will tell you, Do those things, download them, upload them to YouTube so they get everywhere. And if you got a little bit of money, even transcribe them if they're really good, okay, and put them on your blog, just because that transcription is going to get a lot more recognition than your voice will. But you really, really, really should do that. If you were to do these Facebook Lives, even if you just did one daily, if I was to tell you to invest any money in anything, unless you were really good at it, I would tell you to invest your money into having somebody write descriptions for every one of your videos. So when I first started, let me see if I can show this to you. So when I first started, that's not what I want to show you. So when I first started, back in the day, if you guys have been into my Launch Fuel, you'll know that all this stuff is in here. Let's see if I can find one. When I first started, I would do these weekly trainings. Okay. Let's see if I can find one that's got one. And of course, I can't find one. Okay, something like this. So like how to get your audience attention by using pattern disruptions. And so I would hire someone to write these. In this weekly teaching, Chad shows us a technique advanced marketers have been using for years to gain the attention of their audience, pattern disruption. It wasn't all that long ago, savvy marketers would increase the volume on television. So I would have somebody write these little blurbs for me, okay? And because I could put in my descriptions when I was doing that, and those descriptions got a lot of recognition, and my video views began skyrocketing. So what I would tell you is if you're starting out and you really need a lot more notoriety, you may want to just write them yourself. But if you don't have time, you may want to consider getting a professional copywriter to be able to. Now they're not cheap, I will tell you, because they charge by the hour. They're like $50 to $75 an hour. And these would typically take 2 hours. So they're about $100 to $150 per description. Now, some people can do them much quicker because they can listen to you on whatever, or you could write it and they'll just doctor it, whatever you want, but they're not cheap. But what I would tell you is take your 10 to 12 best teachings, give them to a professional copywriter, have the professional copywriter write blurbs on them, put them on your blog, on a WordPress blog, not ClickFunnels blog, but a WordPress blog, so they get a lot of SEO spiders. And you'll see those video views like literally 10, 12x. Okay, so number 5. Number 6. You want to invite yourself. You want to invite yourself on other people's podcasts. Okay. You want to invite yourself on other people's podcasts. And so what you're looking for is you're looking for people with podcasts that have similar audiences to the one you're trying to get. Okay. Tina says, I have students who can do this. Great, Tina. I love it. Steve, there are people, I'm not the best person when it comes to keywords and stuff. I would tell you to reach out to Tina. She's the expert at copywriting, and she can probably help you with all that. But so what I would do is I would find podcasts, people who've got similar audiences to you, invite yourself on it. So now let me see if I can give you an example of this. I don't know. I don't have an example. I'll have to find one for you. Okay. So what I would do then is I would take my article and I would create, 7 to 10 talking point questions. Okay. And so I'd have my bio on there, whatever. So I'm going to go on somebody else's podcast, invite myself, and I'm going to teach my stuff. I'll give them 7 to 10 questions to ask you for the thing, so you can teach in your expertise. I'm gonna write a bio so they have it. I'm gonna give them a picture so they have it. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to offer. Watch this. I'm gonna offer a giveaway. Okay. I'm gonna give their audience something for free in order so I can siphon their audience into my database. Okay. Because remember, as we talked not too long ago, that your GDP. Okay. So we created this thing called the GDP. And as your GDP goes up, so do your dollars. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Okay. Sorry, I just spilled my coffee everywhere. Okay, so as your GDP goes up, so does everything else. So your GDP stands for groups, database, and pages. Okay, so as your groups go up, so in other words, as more people are in your groups and more people in your database and more people are following you on your different pages, so your dollars go up. So what you do is you offer a giveaway for these podcasts. You siphon them into your group database or pages, and that thing skyrockets. So do you. But remember over here, we said that you have to have endorsements. Remember, these are the 6 things we have to have. We have to have experience, education, endorsements, social proof, internet validity, and assets. This endorsement right here, when you're done with a podcast, you simply ask that person, hey, if you like the teaching today, would you do me a favor? Would you just take 30 seconds and just tell the world about it? Hold on 1 second. I literally spilled my coffee everywhere. So, the joys of live coaching, people. It's so good. I just put that there so it'll stay away. It smells really good, actually. Okay. So you just go back and you just ask them if they would just say, hey, if you liked what you heard today, could you just take 30 seconds and just give me a quick little video shout out? Or can you just reply to my Facebook post with a little shout out or whatever? And now what are you doing? You're actually getting an endorsement. Now experts are saying you're an expert. Are you with me? So you need to be on a ton of podcasts, okay? I would tell you that if you're not, until you get to the point where you're completely comfortable with your exposure, if you're not on at least 1 podcast a week, you're doing yourself a disservice, okay? Get on these podcasts. You literally should invite yourself to be on these podcasts. Everybody wants you. Trust me. Why? Because they're always looking for great guests. Get on the podcast. Why? Because they think that you are going to return the favor, and you will, and you'll do it. Tina says, I need a day stretcher from 24 to 48. Steve says, I have to jump on another call. Have a great day. Awesome. Okay. Okay, so you get the idea, right? So this is what you're going to do with your article. Giveaway, funnel, Facebook Live, teach, dissect, podcast. Now, what we're going to be doing in Orlando, and I just got 1 minute left here, then we'll take some Q&A. What we're going to be doing in Orlando is we're going to be helping you design all of this stuff, okay? So this giveaway right here, okay? Now, I told you guys that there's some cool perks coming with the new Launch Accelerator CAVU program. So we have purchased the services of Kappa 99, which is a design firm. And I'm going to be giving you guys access to my Trello board, and they will do all of your design for you for as long as you're in the program. All of your graphic design, anything you need, just upload it. You need presentations design, you need PowerPoints design, you need logos, you need anything you want, okay? Literally anything that you want. We're going to give you access to my Trello board, and they're going to design it. So when you get this giveaway done, you get your content, you upload it, and they will design your giveaway for you. So you have it, and then you can put it in a PDF and do whatever you want with it, okay? It's going to be awesome. If you don't like it, just say, hey, this sucks, start over, okay? And you do it until you get what you want, okay? And this is really cool. So we want you, I would love to have this giveaway done, because at the event, you're going to be creating an opt-in funnel, right? So I'll have my funnel crew there. They'll be helping you, and they're going to be doing this opt-in funnel. We're going to take this magazine article that you have, and not only are we going to help you write it, but we're going to design it in such a manner that it looks totally kick-ass. It looks like a professional magazine article. So like Cree will be there at the thing, and so you're going to bring your outfits, okay, and like she's going to take your beautiful picture and everything. And so we want to design this to where there's like a really picture, little text, some really cool graphics, more stuff. So this article that you send to people looks like $1 million, okay? We want you to have that asset. This Facebook Live, okay, you're going to be filming this. Like, I'm going to be encouraging you to go live, okay, with this either before you get there or not. But we're going to show you how to create a ClickFunnels page for this masterclass to sit on. We'll be building that while we're there, okay? This online video course series, we're giving you an online course template, and you're gonna be able to upload that while you're there. So hopefully you can have this done before you come. If not, then it's not the end of the world. But you can at least put placeholders in and then fill in the blanks. Okay. And so you're getting the idea. This podcast, we're gonna be working with you guys, and we're gonna be creating a media kit with you guys right here. And once again, we're gonna have the whole thing designed by Kappa 99. okay? And you're going to have this whole thing designed. So now you got a full-blown podcast. So when people want you on your podcast, you can just send them this really professionally designed kit that's got everything on it, right? It already has the talking points. It's got your biopic. It's going to have like a code in there for them to give as a giveaway. It's going to have everything that they need. We'll put in a PDF document so you can just copy and paste it. But this is going to look like $1 million. And what it's going to do is it's going to elevate your platform. It's going to elevate everything. And you're going to start looking the part of a millionaire. Okay, that's where we want you to go. So this is what we're doing. This is Content is King. I can't freaking wait for the mastermind. So what questions do you guys have? You can unmute your microphone and come on if you have a question.
Hey, Chad, it's Heidi. I have a quick question.
Hey, Heidi.
I'm writing my 2,500 word article right now, and it's going really awesome. So thank you for kind of teaching us that outline, because I'm kind of using last week's class for that.
Yeah.
And my question is because I'm teaching a ton of digital marketing and, just the strategies behind it. There are a lot of statistics that, huge publications. Can I pull in some of the statistics and then obviously I just credit them? Is that kind of, we're kind of looking for that like college-based essay, right?
Yeah, but you want this to be usable, right? So you don't want to bore people with it, right? So you can put some stats and stuff in there, but you're not trying to bore them. So what you're trying to do, this is your pathway. So do you guys have this? Everybody got this?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me, oh shoot, I can't erase it because my eraser now is full of coffee. So anyway, so what you're looking for is you're looking for this, okay? So you're looking for, remember your what we talked about before?
Mm-hmm.
Your pathway. This is just your pathway. Okay, this is just simply what's getting them from where they are to where they want to go and the delineated steps that they need to take. So this should be super helpful and useful for them. You don't want to bore them. This isn't a college essay, right?
Okay.
But what you want to do is you want to say, hey, are you trying to grow your, multi-level marketing company? Well, here's 7 ways to get people banging down your door to be on your team, something like that. Way 1, way 2, way 3, way 4, way 5, way 6, way 7. Make it delineated. Make it something that people actually want. So these articles work best if when somebody reads the article, people are like, "Oh my God, I got to have that."
Okay, I see.
That's what's best. These aren't like boring, like. These are
like the stats of opening ratios on bot messengers versus email or whatever. Like
those are great blogs. Those aren't great articles.
Okay.
Right. So what you could say, 7 ways to use messenger bots to increase your lead flow, which could potentially double your income or double your downline in the next 90 days. Right. Okay. Or even better ones. 7 reasons why emails are dead, or actually do something really controversial. So like you could do something like, my 7-step process to, that's better. Like the other ones are good blogs. Like my 7-step process to accomplish something, right? So remember it's audience. So you got to be speaking to your audience, give the benefit and the curiosity. So if you can give them a step-by-step process to accomplishing something, those are much better articles.
Could I go with, because the title and topic that I was doing and some of the research, because I struggle between going through the regular common MLMer or the person who's already made it to the top and making millions. And that's really where I thrive, is the person who's already making millions and we're taking them to scale their business now. They already have these huge audiences. And when I was doing some research, 73% of the women who are millionaires in the world today are all in network marketing. And so my thing is I don't really want to focus too much on the person still trying to grow their downline.
Okay,
really
so that right there is an incredible name for a Facebook Live. 73% of all female entrepreneurs have this in common.
Mm-hmm.
Join me today at 3 p.m. and I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
And then,
yeah.
But can I use that as my article? Because then my point about it is because I've worked with enough of these women to know they all did it so organically that my 7 strategies that I bring to the table, the reason why they need me and they hire me is because then they didn't actually build their business like a business. So they don't have a sales structure. They don't have do you know what I mean? So I implement my 7 strategies and now they have a foundation. They actually have digital marketing. They have pieces. Most of them just did it organically, and now they're flopping around at the top. So I wanted to tie those two together because that's my 7 things that I teach. It's like the 7 core strategies that I teach.
7 core, keep going. What are you, 7 core strategies to?
I called it the strategies after the success, and I turned it into something more of a methodology because anyone can teach digital marketing. There's a billion people that they could follow to learn digital marketing. I have precise experience already working with those in MLM who have MLM audiences who've already proven they're already proven at the top. And I know what that landscape looks like. And so we implement strategies that work for someone. The strategies that I implement up there with them are not the same strategies I implement with someone who's just starting their MLM business. It's not the same. Do you know what I mean? So my 7 core pillar strategies that I go in and when people hire me for, sometimes they need 2 of them. Sometimes they need all 7 of them. It depends on
What does the 7 steps do? So like, what can it do for them that wouldn't happen unless they implement it?
It scales them, meaning it monetizes. It gives them the ability to turn their message into money. Because up until this point, they only have one income stream. That's their MLM. And most of them get to the top and they're like, now what? I want to do this. I want to do this. They have the audiences. They have passion.
Then I think I would be very clear with that. So I think I would communicate with them somewhere, either in the title of the article, subtitle of the article, on how to create, now that you're at the top, how to create multiple streams of income from your influence.
Yeah.
Something like that. Because what you don't want to, like when I hear like 7 core pillars or 7 core strategies, it sort of puts me to sleep. And so you don't want to do that. These are really intelligent people at the top that have that question. So just go ahead and state the obvious. Great headlines state the obvious.
Okay.
Okay. So you're stating something that they're thinking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now that you're already making 6 figures in your multi-level marketing, let me show you how to leverage that influence to create more income and more impact. Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love that. But just don't bore them. Like, get them excited. Like, so right at the beginning where you make the case, like we talked about earlier with the article, where you make the case, I would just put it right at the top. Okay. You're making lots of money, but you sort of believe that you're beginning to get capped out, blah, blah, blah. Right. Yeah. Then I think you could roll with it from there.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. What other questions we got? Hey, so I'm going to give you guys in the chat room, just FYI, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys are on here. Here is the link for the Trello. And let me just show you how this works, okay? So when you're in here, inside Trello, okay, you're going to be in this Kappa 99. You can come in here. What you're going to do is you're going to come over to the right. And I don't know why Candace put this in here, but someone named Candace Sanchez. Don't write in my best practices, please, like she did. I don't know why this is in here, but you'll see this right here. So when you come into best practices, over to the right, you have best practices. So let's say that you're going to submit a logo. Okay. Just answer these questions. So you're just going to copy this right here. Just copy it, get out of it, and then come back over here to your new, and then add another card. And then just like put your name here. So Chad Thibodeau logo. Oh, sorry. And then edit. Come on. And then you just paste this right here in the description and then just answer the questions. Okay. Does that make sense? And then just answer it. And then they'll do it for you. And so you'll go from to not ready or pending information. So you got to keep watching this. So like, there's a bunch of people in here who are like griping at me like, hey, why aren't you my stuff done? Well, it's because it's in here and they're not coming in and checking it. So if they're pending information, if they're doing something, if they revise it, when it gets done, it'll go here. So you can see like we just had them create this like for me. I don't know if you can see this, but like they just created that. They do a really nice job. Okay. And so you can put it all in here, and then when it's done, okay, it'll go right here. And then when you're done, then you can archive, you can download it for yourself and then archive it. Okay. You get the idea. Okay. So you guys can use that link right there to go in and just create an account. And literally, as long as you're in my program, 100% of your design, just pop it in there. Okay. Now, if you stop in my program, you got to get out, but you follow me. So we got all kinds of perks coming for you guys, and this is just one of them. Okay. So an entire design team right in your hands. And they're typically pretty good. They typically get things done in 1 to 3 days. Okay. Which is pretty fast. And then they never complain. If you hate it, just say, hey, I hate this. Can you start over? And they'll start over. Okay. There you go. Yes, Heidi, you can start using it now. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. Well, if you don't have any more questions, then I'm going to jump off. Now, don't forget that we're working on all the new Kavu stuff. All you guys are getting the free promotion to new Kavu, but we got some really cool things coming on. The Kavu coaching is getting ready to go from 25 to 36,000, and we're trying to get as many people in at the 25,000 level as there is the 36, as we can before we bump it up. And so we're typing up everything. We still got some glitches that we're trying to work on, but as soon as we get it, we'll give it to you. You guys can start promoting. We pay 20% commission. I don't know if you guys know that, but 20% commission on all of our coaching. Okay. And then when you get 5, not only is your coaching free, but we got some really cool perks and stuff for you guys. You guys can go back and watch the last Facebook Live that I did to learn about all of them. But we'd love to have you guys help us pack this out as we go into the summer. And because we're doing some really cool things. So the studio that I'm in, we're getting ready to close this down, and we're moving it to my home. I'm actually paying to get an air conditioner put on my garage. I got a beautiful 4.5 car garage. It's gorgeous, 16-foot ceilings, and we're moving my TV studio down there so we can do everything from my home. And what's great is when you come to these events that are at my house, you have access to my entire studio, which is pretty cool. So you'll be able to use everything. So when we talk about like doing these Facebook Lives and stuff, you can just go to the studio, bam, you got it all right there. And my crew and everything will be there to help you guys out. So we're moving everything down there, but it's expensive. So we like for your help to pay for it. And so to do that, I'm trying to pack out the program. So we're willing to pay you guys handsomely for it. And 5 people and you're in. What's the dates for the Scooby-Doo? Heidi, we're still working on that right now. The Scooby-Doo Castle is October 17th through the 21st. It's in Arlington, Washington. What I'm still debating on is whether that's going to be a launch accelerator event or whether it's going to be a small event, big profit. Still working on that. But I have 27 events next year over the next 12 months, 27 of them. So I'm trying to get them all organized. Lots of people are anxiously waiting. When we first launched the program, we only have 4 events, so it's pretty easy to do. Now I have 27 events. So I'm trying to get it all organized. And so I want to just publish this thing once. And then once I publish it, you guys have it. And I don't want to change it. So that's why we're juggling some things. So be patient. All right, guys. Welcome. You guys have an awesome week. If y'all need anything, just let me know. Bye-bye.